Hi, I'm Mike Bishop, Vice President of Engineering here at RGD Consulting Engineers. Today I want to let you know about an important change in the HVAC industry that will affect projects in 2024 and beyond. As you know, climate change is a troubling issue, driving a host of regulatory and technological changes. In the HVAC world, refrigerants are of central concern. Join me for a short presentation on how the U.S. Department of Energy and HVAC experts are responding to this challenge and what it means for the construction industry.
The goal of this short presentation is to talk about the next refrigerant transition and what it means for immediate and future development. The last major transition happened in 2010 when R22 was replaced with R410A as the standard for unitary equipment, which includes residential and commercial split systems, rooftop units, and water source heat pumps. There have been other transitions with refrigerants for chillers and refrigeration units, but we're going to focus on the unitary market today. There's two critical values related to the environmental impact of refrigerants: ODP, or ozone depletion potential, and GWP, global warming potential. As you can see, R22 had a non-zero ODP, which was the primary trigger to move to R410A. However, R410A had a much higher GWP. So in 2016, an amendment was made to the Montreal Protocol to address refrigerant global warming potentials across all industries. In 2022, the U.S. adopted this amendment with the AIM Act. The goal of the AIM Act is to reduce high GWP refrigerant consumption by 85% by 2036. This is across all industries that use refrigerants: refrigeration, vending machines, insulation, HVAC, and the auto industry. But again, I want to focus on the unitary market within HVAC as it affects most of the large-scale development happening in the United States right now. For example, multifamily housing, which typically use split systems or water source heat pumps, assisted living facilities or nursing homes, which often use variable refrigerant flow, and general commercial, which often uses rooftop package units. So what's the goal for this transition? The EPA has established a threshold of 700 GWP, which of course is much lower than R410A. Currently, there are two refrigerants that will be adopted as replacements: R32 and R454B. As you can see, R454B has a lower GWP and it will be used by most of the manufacturers. So what's unique about these refrigerants and why does it matter? Here's a chart showing refrigerant flammability and toxicity ratings. Older refrigerants like R22 and R410A are rated as A1. The trade-off with these new refrigerants is they fall in the A2L category, which is lower flammability. So what does that mean? A2L refrigerants are not combustible by nature, but could be ignited by hot wires, lit cigarettes, and direct flames, according to a 2018 Purdue University study. This doesn't make them significantly more dangerous than A1 refrigerants, but it does mean the HVAC industry will have to make changes to equipment and service to adapt. Here's a summary of the changes we'll be seeing. First, each HVAC unit will have factory-installed refrigerant detectors that will shut off the unit if a leak is detected. These sensors must be integrated with the unit construction and carry a UL listing. That means all HVAC equipment must be redesigned to use A2L refrigerant and will not be backwards compatible with R410A. Finally, service personnel will have to carry new certifications to service this equipment and handle these refrigerants. How does this affect developers and building owners? Expect additional controls and sensors that will have to be maintained or replaced. Of course, this might result in more nuisance failures, but safety must be a priority here. On a national level, NFPA and the insurance companies are in agreement that these refrigerants are safe if the proper sensors and safeties are in place. But we don't yet know how local officials will react. Along with that, we don't know the impact of replacement and maintenance costs until these changes are made. So that all leads to the big question: when? The DOE has mandated that manufacturers must meet the 700 GWP requirement by January 1st, 2025, for everything except VRF, which will get an extra year to catch up. Short term, expect manufacturers to begin switching their production over sometime next year. The demand for R410A equipment will increase, but its availability will decrease rapidly as HVAC vendors make this change. Regarding R410A itself, the AIM Act has proposed a slower phase-out than what happened with R22. Production will continue until 2036, but again, expect demand and costs to increase. Now here's the kicker. The final GWP goal in 2034 is less than 300. Which means we'll be doing another refrigerant transition around 2030. To wrap up, let's talk about the short-term challenges in 2024. The building codes and local officials will be playing catch-up, which is why we feel like this presentation is important for people in our industry to be informed. As mentioned, R410A equipment will be phased out quickly. Buildings under construction with pending equipment orders may be impacted later in 2024. In those cases, what are the options? Depending on the phase of construction, there's really two choices. First, you could lock in R410A by pre-ordering and warehousing equipment, understanding the scarcity and cost of 410A will increase over the next few years. Or you could make the leap to the new refrigerants and address the safety and maintenance concerns now. Long-term, developers and engineers need to work together to carefully consider the best HVAC system for each building. With higher flammability and toxicity, isolation and containment will be key, along with your trusted and trained service partners. Finally, it will be paramount to work closely with local officials to address any safety concerns before any equipment is installed.
Thanks again for listening. You can learn more about RGD at www.rgdengineers.com. Please reach out to us if you have questions about the refrigerant transition or if you need engineering services on a project that will be affected by this change. We're here to help.